Hello viewer, this is Tarun. Today I gonna explain how to represent signed binary numbers in 2's complement form and how to process 2's complement sensor data in embedded system. So let's get started. In mathematics, to represent positive numbers, we use plus symbol, whereas to represent negative numbers, we use minus symbol. But in the digital world, numbers can be represented with zeros and ones only. Then how do we represent negative numbers in binary form? Well, there are many ways of representing signed binary numbers. The most popular among those is 2's complement form. In 2's complement form, positive numbers are represented exactly same as unsigned binary numbers. So in this case, positive 3 is represented as 0011. Now to get the 2's complement representation of negative 3, we will first have to perform 1's complement operation on this number, which results in 1100, and then add 1 to it. So this is the 2's complement representation of negative 3. Note that throughout this example, I will be dealing with only 4-bit numbers, but the same concept can be applied to numbers with any number of bits. This table shows 2's complement representation of numbers from 0 to 7 and their corresponding negative numbers. Please note that the MSB of all positive numbers is 0 and the MSB of all negative numbers is 1. You might have observed that I have performed 2's complement operation on each of these numbers to get 2's complement representation of their corresponding negative numbers. But why didn't I do that on 0? Well, this question might not have even popped up in your mind. It's because you already know that there are no such things as positive zeros and negative zeros. A 0 is a 0. But what would happen if I perform 2's complement operation on this? It should still result in 0, right? Let's check it out. First, let's perform 1's complement operation on this and then add 1 to it. And this will be the result. Now, there is nothing wrong in calling this as 0 because we are dealing with 4-bit numbers and the low significant 4 bits of this result are zeros, and it doesn't really matter what the 5th bit is because, as I said, we are dealing with only 4-bit numbers. Now let me ask you a question. What would be the result of adding each of this number to its corresponding negative number? It should be 0, right? Now let's perform addition operation on each of these 2's complement representation with their corresponding negative numbers. You can see that result in each of this case will be equal to our new 0. This also means that to obtain 2's complement representation of a negative number, instead of performing 1's complement operation on its corresponding positive number and then adding 1 to it, you could also subtract 2's complement representation of its corresponding positive number from this value. Okay, that's all theory behind 2's complement representation. But don't you feel that the way 2's complement represent negative numbers is overcomplicated? I mean, couldn't there be a simpler way to represent negative numbers? So for example, in this 4-bit number, the MSB could represent sign and the remaining 3 bits could represent magnitude. Let's say 0 could represent positive sign and 1 could represent negative sign. Well, this is actually one of the ways of representing signed binary numbers, and it is called signed magnitude representation. But the reason why 2's complement representation is widely used in embedded systems is that it is easy for computers to perform arithmetic operations on 2's complement representation rather than any other form of representing signed binary numbers. To know more details about this, you can check out the link in the description of this video. Now let's get into the second part of this video, which is processing 2's complement sensor data. Well, I've actually interfaced an accelerometer with Raspberry Pi where I have to deal with 2's complement sensor data. Let me show it as an example for you in this video. So here's the schematics of my circuit. MC6470 is the part number of the accelerometer that I have used. It is interfaced with Raspberry Pi over I2C bus, and I have provided power supply to this IC with 3.3 volts from Raspberry Pi itself. It is important to provide pull-up resistors for SCL and SDA pins of I2C bus. I have used 4.7 kilo ohms as pull-up resistances. Now let's look into the datasheet of MC6470. As you can see here, this is the package orientation of the IC. It provides acceleration value in all three axes. Say for example, we want to measure acceleration in x-axis. How to do it? Let's look into the register summary of this IC. These two are the registers that we need to access. This is low address byte and this is high address byte. Each of these registers is 8 bits long. So total 16 bits of memory is used to store acceleration data in x-axis. Note that this accelerometer can measure acceleration in both positive and negative directions. So this is a signed value represented in 2's complement form. But not all 16 bits are used to store acceleration data. Basically we can choose the number of bits in which we can store the acceleration data. And that is done by writing to the output configuration register over here. As you can see here, the low significant 3 bits are used to choose the resolution of the accelerometer. So we can choose from 6 bit to 14 bit resolution for this accelerometer. And I have chosen 14 bit resolution for this example. And we can also select range of measurement of this acceleration. It varies from plus or minus 2g to plus or minus 16g. G is nothing but the gravitational acceleration value. It is equals to 9.81 meter per second square. For this example, I have chosen plus or minus 8g as the range. Now let's look into the source code. Well, there's a lot going here. I'm not going into complete details of this project because here our main focus is on how to process 2's complement sensor data. But if you are interested in knowing more details about this project, you can check out the link in the description. This is the method with which we can access accelerometer data register over I2C. Here I have actually accessed 6 bytes of data to measure acceleration in all 3 axes. But as of now we are only interested in x-axis. That is the first 2 bytes of these 6 bytes. This is low byte data and this is high byte data. This high byte data is left shifted by 8 bits and then OR operation is performed with low byte data to get the whole 16-bit data. Now this 16-bit data is passed to a method called convert digital to analog, which is defined over here. As I have chosen 14-bit as the resolution of this accelerometer, I'll have to check the 14th bit value, that is the MSB of this 2's complement data, to know whether this data is positive or negative value. To check it, I'll have to perform AND operation with this value, and if it's greater than 0, it means that the MSB of this value is 1, else it is 0. If it is 0, I don't have to perform any operations on it and I can directly assign it to the output variable analog value, because 2's complement representation of positive values is exactly same as unsigned binary numbers. This analog value is basically a signed decimal value. So how do we calculate the analog value in case this digital value is storing a 2's complement representation of a negative value? Let's get back to the basics to know this. For a moment, let us assume that the 2's complement data we have in our accelerometer data registers is this value, that is nothing but negative 3. All we are trying to do here is to get the magnitude of this value, that is nothing but 3. I mean, somehow if we are able to fetch this value from this value, it will be easy for our Raspberry Pi to understand that this is 3 because it is nothing different from unsigned binary number. Well, from here we are able to reach this point by performing 2's complement operation on it. But from here, how do we get back to this point? Well, if you can recollect that, the sum of this number and this number would result in this value, As this is the value that we are trying to fetch now, let us assume it to be our unknown variable x. So here our x will be equal to this value minus this value. Now recollect that subtracting any number from this value is equivalent to performing 2's complement operation on this value. So basically it's a two-way operation. I mean, performing 2's complement operation on this value would give us this value, whereas performing 2's complement operation on this value should give back us this value. You can validate it yourself. Let's do the same in the Python code. Now, as the digital value variable has got 2's complement representation of a negative number, all we need to do to get the magnitude of this number is to perform 1's complement operation on it and then add 1 to it. To perform 1's complement operation on it, I am performing negation operation just to toggle each of these bits, and I am performing AND operation of the result with this number just to consider only the first 14 bits and to ignore the other higher bits, as we are dealing with 14-bit resolution value. And now I am adding 1 to it to get the magnitude. I am preceding this result with minus symbol, as we know that this is a negative value. Now finally our analog value variable is assigned with the signed decimal value. Now how do we convert this signed decimal value into the acceleration data in meter per second square? Now recollect that the range of measurement chosen for this accelerometer is plus or minus 8G. It means that the maximum value that can be stored in this 14-bit 2's complement data will be representing an acceleration of plus 8G. But what is the maximum value that can be stored in this 14-bit 2's complement data? To know this, let's get back to our example of 4-bit numbers. As you can see here, the maximum number that can be stored in 4-bit 2's complement data is 7, which is equal to 2 power 3 minus 1, which is nothing but 2 power 4 minus 1 minus 1. So for any n-bit 2's complement data, the maximum number that can be stored in it is 2 power n minus 1 minus 1. As we are dealing with 14-bit 2's complement data in accelerometer, the maximum value that can be stored in it is 2 power 13 minus 1, which should represent plus 8G acceleration. So let's use this mapping to convert our decimal acceleration data into the acceleration in meter per second square. Now the signed decimal value is multiplied with 8 into G, nothing but the gravitational acceleration, which is equals to 9.81 meter per second square as defined here. And then the result is divided by the maximum value that can be stored in 14-bit 2's complement data, which is nothing but 2 power 13 minus 1. Now this should result in acceleration data in meter per second square. I hope that you really understood how to interpret 2's complement sensor data and how to process it to get the final output. That's it for this video guys. Thank you.